Have you been charging what you truly deserve, or have you been cutting yourself short? Guess what? I found out today that I have been underselling myself. Now, what I want to do is I want to avoid this for 2025, and I want you guys to avoid the same thing. Let's dive into this video, look at some day rates so that we can map out 2025 and how you are going to avoid making the same mistake that I did and completely avoid underselling yourself. Let's get started. So how did I find out that I was underselling myself? So in my emails, I came across a census from Major Players. Now, Major Players are a very reputable recruitment agent specific to production, project management within the creative space. Now, this is the kind of agency that I go to on a regular basis to find freelance roles. They're called Major Players. So at the end of every year, they send out a census. So what this census does is that it explores 2024, the typical market trends, pay transparency, which was so critical. Now, this is how I found out that I've been underselling myself in 2024. It also explores salaries for those of you that are permanent. It dives into reskilling, talks a bit about AI, some of the concerns that companies are having, whether organizations are utilizing AI or not. Essentially, a lot of key findings within the creative industries. So they've done research based on 3,821 professionals within the creative industry. So these findings come from this pool of people. I went straight to the salary section and straight to the day rate section because I want to know a bit more about day rates. What other senior PMs are charging, what other, midweight PMs, project coordinators, heads of production, heads of a PM team. I want to know what they are charging. If you're not talking and you're not connected to other freelancers, then you might not know how much to charge and you might be underselling yourself. My lowest ever day rate was £150. And I only found out that I was being massively bumped by the recruitment. Now, bumped is a very old school term, but I was being massively bumped by the recruitment agent who were taking a huge cut of the company's day rate. The day rate that they had was £250. So the recruitment company was taking a massive £100 out of my day rate. Didn't know about it. Only found out because I spoke to the other freelancer, because two freelancers were hired for this project management role. And we ended up having a conversation and she mentioned, this is a really low day rate for me. It's not what I'm used to, but it's January, I'm in need of a role. And I was like, oh my gosh, I thought the exact same thing. It's a really low day rate, but because I'm trying to break into a new industry, i.e. going from print to digital, I accepted the day rate thinking that this is actually breakthrough for me because I'm getting into digital. Not knowing that I was actually being taken advantage of by the recruitment company. Now, this wasn't Major Players, thankfully. Major Players are one of the recruiters that I started to use when I increased my day rate. However, there are recruiters out there that can take advantage of you. So it's important to be mindful of that, which is why you need to be well versed and you need to be equipped and you need to have knowledge of these day rates so that you don't get taken advantage of as well. Now, thankfully, this was a good number of years ago. This is when I went from print to digital. So let's get into the juicy numbers. 2024 salary information for freelancers. Now we're specifically looking at the creative industry, okay? So I had a look and senior PMs are charging £350 to £400. Digital project managers, £350 to £500 per day. Project directors, £350 to £400 and my eyesight, £50. Junior producer, which is basically the same as a project manager, $225 to $275 per day. However, what I wanted to mention here is that I've been charging $350 per day for the past couple of years, even though there's been an increase in inflation. That's probably not very good. That's actually very unwise of me to continue staying with that range. But I think when my day rate increased from $300 to $350, it was like I was so grateful to be getting $350 that I just kind of kept it at that rate, not even thinking that I could get more. And I'm specifically talking about contracts that are outside IR35. Inside, I need about 500 to match what I'm making as a contractor outside of IR35. But you see, the minimum is around 350. That's exactly what I've been charging. So I think that's me underselling myself because of the number of years experience that I've had. So if someone left their permanent project manager role and went into freelance, you could be charging $350 straight away. So if you're a project manager and you're a freelancer and you have a lot of experience, you're used to hitting the ground running, juggling multiple projects and just literally just getting stuck in, you're a fast learner, you should be charging over £400. And here in their centres, it also says the tech market continues to evolve rapidly, driven by digital transformation, increased competition, higher customer expectations, and a data-centric approach. As such, project managers with digital expertise remain in high demand. So those of you guys that are concerned about there not being many jobs, and I'm seeing that there's still a lot of scarcity when it comes to the job market. And yes, I know there's been quite a lot of layoffs, but project managers are still in high demand, specifically senior and mid-level project managers and producers. So it goes on to say the production space has seen a decline following the post-pandemic surge, primarily due to businesses not winning as much work as before. Many firms find that their permanent teams have sufficient capacity to manage current workloads internally, and the rise of technology and AI is enabling some businesses to handle more work in-house. It's great that organizations are using AI as it's supposed to. It's supposed to enhance, it's supposed to help, it's supposed to assist. So in terms of freelance project managers, there may not be as much roles out there. Companies weren't winning as much new contracts and clients, and some organizations obviously were managing their workload in-house. Although it seems there was a increase in project manager roles, I think from the perspective of a freelance project manager, we've seen that there may have been a bit more of a decline. So AI, as it's supposed to, it's helping to assist the project manager. It says here that AI is enabling some businesses to handle more work in-house, and candidates in the production area may need to consider upskilling to ensure their skills remain relevant in this evolving market. There are some organizations that are utilizing AI in the right way, so they are cutting back on costs, they are becoming much more efficient, they are less likely to need to outsource work. Their permanent teams are probably finding that they have much more capacity because these AI tools are helping them to be much more efficient, and it's helping them and it's assisting them in their needs. So although there is still that high demand in project management within permanent employment, I will still be freelancing, and I think my specific strategy will just literally be, number one, doing a good job so that you're remembered and you're always at the forefront of their mind if they are in need. Number two, building those relationships. Although I work remote, sometimes go into the office, having that likability factor about you. So these are ways that you build relationships, and being a likable person, being a nice person in general will help you to build those relationships in addition to doing a great job. So I think I'm going to continue to take that approach. So that might mean more outreaching, contacting them directly, connecting with these people on LinkedIn on a personal level, every so often checking in with them, liking their posts on LinkedIn. There are different sort of really small, minimal strategies and things, building relationships with the overall team so that you are always in the forefront of their mind. So I think it's important as a freelancer to treat yourself as a business. I've done this before, and I've kind of sometimes forgotten that I'm a business, and I treat myself like I'm just a normal employee, and I'm looking for a job, and then I just get a contract, and in the end, and I just move on to the next one, and so forth. But it's really important just to maintain those relationships by connecting with people on LinkedIn, having those conversations, saying those thank yous. Those small gestures is what builds relationships. Those small gestures that create that likability factor. And obviously the most important thing is that you are doing a good job. I will probably look into upskilling. I will probably look into taking on some kind of AI course, equip myself with a bit more knowledge on AI, how it can assist me in many other dimensions, as well as the note-taking tools, as well as the project management tools. How else will AI be able to assist me going forward? And how else can AI contribute to the overall organization? How can I bring that into the organization, making suggestions on how they can improve using AI as well? So really being that pool of knowledge for the organization so that I'm also adding value. So yeah, not only am I just doing my job, not only are you paying me, but I'm adding value. So these little things that I want to be doing so that I am at the forefront of their mind and that I'm making myself memorable. My plan is to increase my day rate. So I would advise those of you guys that are underselling yourselves to also look at increasing your day rate, and I'll be open to being a bit more flexible about the number of days I could potentially go into the office. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye bye.